Enter the patient's home and introduce yourself. Locate a table or other appropriate area to set up equipment and to complete the paperwork. Ask the patient if they received any paperwork from our office. If so, ask to see it. If not, give the patient any forms to complete. If you are unable to get the patient health questionnaire filled out during the confirmation phone call, give that form to the patient to fill out as well. While the patient is filling out forms, you can start to unpack your equipment. Use the blue pad to cover the surface on the table before unpacking. Set up the netbook, the hotspot device, and camera if it's a video recording. Plug in the equipment and power it on. Unpack the tracket and insert the batteries. Collect the consent form and copies of the patient's insurance information. Explain the HIPAA policy and have the patient sign our office copy. Now it's time to go over the patient history with the patient. Ask about their seizure or neurological history. Have the patient describe their seizures or events, the duration, and when their last episode happened. When asking about prior EEGs, explain the electrode application process for ambulatory EEG. Explain the procedure to them. Now you can input the history into the remote monitoring database. At this point, show the patient the netbook. Show them where the power button is and the tech support number on the screen as well as on the netbook. Show the patient where the internet icon is at the bottom right of the laptop screen and the white light on the F12 key. Also show the patient the hotspot device and where the power button is. Demonstrate how to power on and off the hotspot device. Now it's time to explain remote monitoring. Let the patient know how our techs monitor and log into the netbook every hour. Inform the patient that our techs monitor for the integrity of the EEG and that the equipment is functioning properly. Explain that NTech does not provide emergency assistance. Verify that the patient or a family member understands to call 911 in the event of a medical emergency. Inform the patient that the monitoring techs are available 24 hours a day to answer any questions. Also let the patient know that a monitoring tech will make a morning phone call to check in with them. Ask the patient if they are okay with being called at night. Let them know why a monitoring tech may need to call them in the middle of the night. If the study is a video recording, show the patient the camera and how it operates. Show the patient good positioning of the camera. Make sure to explain the infrared light and that there will be audio recording during the video recording as well. Let the patient know why it is important to stay on camera as much as possible. You understand that they will not be on camera 24/7. For example, they will be off camera while they're in the bathroom, changing their clothes, etc. But explain to them that they need to be on camera most of the time and in clear view. Now it's time to go over the push-button log sheet. Go over with the patient when to push the event button and what to document on the log sheet. Show them the checkbox to mark if they did not have any typical events. At this time, demonstrate how to push the button on the tracket. Explain the display and how it beeps and the time lights up when it is pushed. Inform the patient that this is the time they need to document on the push button log sheet. Explain to them the time is military time, and the time that lights up on the tracket display when it's pushed is the time to document on that push button log sheet. Now you can explain the activity logs and what to document on those logs. Let the patient know what not to do during the EEG. For example, no gum chewing, jumping, dropping or shaking the tracket, and obviously not showering or bathing. Let them know listening to music through earbuds is fine, just document it on the activity sheet. Show the patient the extra supplies inside the clipboard. Let the patient know the monitoring tech may call them to have them press down or put tape on the forehead wires if they become loose. Explain to them the role of the on-call tech. Instruct the patient to call the tech support number when they are ready to remove their wires and end the study. The monitoring tech will log into their netbook and turn off the tracket and the netbook. Now they can remove their wires. Go over the electrode removal process. Explain how to remove the head wrap and how to apply the collodion remover and cotton balls to the electrodes on their head. Tell them not to place the solution on any wood surface and to discard any extra when done removing their wires. Have the patient sign the bottom of the electrode removal instructions. Show them there is a copy attached to the clipboard if they need to refer to it during the disconnection. Go over when the equipment is to be picked up by a courier or UPS. Set up a time and date and have the patient sign the bottom of the return of equipment agreement form. Now you can go over the equipment checklist. Briefly explain the restart kit, which is the little blue zipper bag, and when that would be used. Inform the patient it is kept inside the computer bag. Have the patient sign the bottom of the equipment checklist. Ask the patient to complete the patient survey when the study is done and return it with all the other log sheets. Now it's time to apply the electrodes. Ask the patient if they need to use the bathroom or change into a button-down or zip-up top while you unpack and set up your supplies. Wash your hands and put on gloves before proceeding with the electrode application. Measure the head and apply the electrodes. Make sure during the time of the electrode application you converse and ask the patient if they have any questions. Inform them again of what to do and not to do during the EEG. Discuss with the patient the possibility of red marks, indentations, or abrasions that can occur on the forehead from the frontal leads. Tell them this is very rare and they can apply triple antibiotic ointment to treat. When done, remove your gloves and wash your hands. At this point, start the tracket recording. Show the patient the R on the tracket and what it means. Put on a new set of gloves and perform the electrode test. Wrap the patient's head with the gauze wrap. After this, ask the patient how it feels and if they are comfortable. If all is well, continue with the Surgilast netting. Once that is on, ask the patient again how it feels and if they are comfortable. Make any adjustments if needed. Go ahead and remove your gloves. Document the time of the electrode test in the same area as the awake sample on the push-button log sheet. Perform the eyes open, eyes closed for 1 minute and document the times on the log sheet as well. Go over with the patient where the equipment is going to be positioned in their home. Show the patient how to carry the equipment if it is necessary to move it. Instruct them not to close the lid on the netbook. Now it's time to complete the things to do at each patient hookup checklist. Go over each point with the patient and have them sign the bottom. Remind the patient about the tech support line and to call it before they remove their wires. At this point, input any additional information into the remote monitoring database if necessary. Use the Cavi wipes to clean the equipment, the marker, tape, caliper, hair clips, air hose, etc. Wrap any used supplies such as gauze, 1020 paste, new prep in the blue pad and discard that into the garbage. Pack up your equipment. Ask the patient if they have any questions or concerns before you leave their home.